All right, we'll start on assignment 2 of CSSC 5048. So for task 1, we'll start with, entering the global variables, x and y. Both of those values will be 3 in this case. And let's look at task 1 to create a nested list based on x and y. As such, so we basically have to create a nested list based on the x and y, which I consider the dimensions. So this is how I solve the problem over here. Now we have to take into note that there's a cap for the value of x and y. It can't be more than 5. So we need to put a condition over here for either x or y. If either of them were above 5, we need to error out. When you say print the error on the console, I could just print this message, but I think if I could actually just raise this exception, then this will allow it to error out, which is probably a little bit better. Other than that, a nested list in this case will be a list of one value, in this case a list of 1 times x. This will multiply that list, and you do a list comprehension on top of that. So this will give us the result as suggested over here, and that is the case for task 1. For task 2, we have to conditionally change the values in the nested list based on if x mod y equals 0. Here I will use pretty much the same method as what I was using over here. Actually, I can actually just call the previous function, and that would have been fine as well. But we'll start with like a empty list. We'll call it a template list, and we'll do like a double for loop for y and x. So for row and for column, and we'll look for the modulus operations, and if they are equal to 0, then we'll change those values to 1. And this is the result we're going to get. And I think this is a correct one. I feel like it's not, if we're just looking for x mod y equals 0, it's not really going to look like this. So I'm just going to go with what I have over here. For task 3, we're traversing over lists, and if you find one, print the index of that list. And if you find one, print the index of that list. Okay. So we'll have to go over to traverse both the y-axis and as well as the x-axis on this case. So we'll do a double for loop over here as well for I1 and I2 based on the length as well as the length of each individual list within the nested list. And we can get the value over here and print them conditionally over here. This is a little bit hard to keep track of, but that's the case with every double for loop over here. Actually, it's kind of a little bit frowned upon if you have too many nested for loops in your code. But yeah, I think that's how it goes with this assignment.